What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about actually a handful of crypto stocks today. A couple mining stocks and a couple of crypto stocks. Clean Spark Marathon for DB, DEFTF, and CRCW, and CRYBF for Raw VM. We're doing all those today for you guys. So without any further ado, let's get into this. Yes, Clean Spark had a bullish finish to this week, did it not? Yes, it did. Look at that. As predicted, more or less, right? This isn't coming to a surprise. I hope nobody's feeling the FOMO because, I've been saying that I've been expecting this exact thing to happen. I even gave way higher price, I wouldn't say targets, but possibilities, right, than that. Nonetheless, a lower high. This could have been the extent of it, though I kind of would think we go a little bit higher to start the week next week and then pull back. The reason for thinking that is, on a relative basis from our high to low here, the 382 is right there at 853. If we put a line right there, take away our fibs. And also, by the way, it's very common to go a little bit through your 382 on the first pass. You can bounce right off it too, but literally at the 382 is this previous area of support. Broke out, check it back for resistance, and then go lower. Super common. Very, very normal to do. And again, if we go a little bit through it, that doesn't mean it's back onto the upside because we still have a lot of resistance up here nonetheless. So I don't know, probably move up to about $8.50 to $9, something like that. Again, you could move all the way back up to $10 or $11, but nonetheless, you probably move lower. Even if you get above these highs, it would still be a lower high. And the reason why I'm throwing out all these price targets from the ones that are very close to the ones that are a little bit farther away, closer to these highs, is we've seen stuff like that. Though to be fair, there weren't really any discernible highs in the way here, where here we kind of do have a little checkpoint, coming down here, right? You took out all these highs, and it was a higher high, but still, boom, you went lower. Clean Spark likes to mess with us, right? It really does. Look at this bullish candle right here, and that you went a little higher 2 days later, and then down, right? Look at this bullish engulfing candle. You went up for 1, 2, 3 days. You were up here, and then down, right? 1, 2, 3 days. The beginning of next week, and then we go down. That kind of sounds about right in my opinion. Let's see, you had some bearish candles here, and then you went up. It likes to play with you. Some charts have different personalities, man. Like this one right here, you're in an uptrend, bearish candle to finish off your move, right? This would normally mark continuation. It scares a lot of people when you look at it. That's technically a bearish Maru Bazoo, but hey, immediate reversal. So the fact that we had a day that's up 9%, I'm not really too concerned with the overall idea of this thing going lower. I absolutely do think it goes lower. I think, again, if we zoom out a little bit, let me look at this for what it's worth. Just looking kind of at these lows here, draw circles around them, right? Something like that. Like this one doesn't make sense, in my opinion, right? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It just, to me, I would think that we do go lower. We have lower to go. Something below this green line. And in correspondence with that, every single low that we've had so far since we found this low has been below this green line. So I kind of would expect that we do get below it again. We did bounce right above it here as well. Had a nice 16% day one day, and then still went lower. So all the more reason why, again, I'm not too excited about it. We got oversold. We're up now. Probably come back down to the oversold zone, form some bullish divergence or something, and then we can talk about it going up. But again, just general thoughts really quick to sum it up. I do think, and then also looking at the weekly too, right? Every low that you've had, even in the downtrend, it was slightly below this low. When you were coming up, slightly above, I said slightly below the low, I mean slightly below the green line, slightly above the green line. It's very rare to just hold significance right on it. You actually don't really do that. You go a little bit through it. So we didn't even go through it. So I do think that we're going to go lower. And beyond all of that, bottom to top here, you didn't even hit your 382. It's very common to at least hit your 382. And that you don't have to. I say it's common because it is common, but we might be finding resistance right here at this 236. We can go a little bit above it. That's okay, and still find resistance. But nonetheless, I would think that we get below this 382, below 620, below $6.19. That's my genuine opinion. But at first, again, to start off next week, we might move up a little bit more. We might, the first day or 2 or 3, move up. Next week might even close neutral. But the following week, in the beginning of February, which I guess next week would be the beginning of February, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yes, it would. After the beginning of February, the second week in February on a stock basis, I would think that we see more continuation to the downside if we don't get it next week. And at the moment, I'm kind of anticipating that, again, maybe the first day, maybe the first three, we open up green and then we close red. I don't think that next week we'll close below these lows, but somewhere in between these lows and these highs here. If we do close below it, cool, whatever. I'm still in my put option. I'm waiting to buy back and waiting to go long, waiting to buy some stocks and stuff like that, but or some shares in this. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. So I don't really have anything else to add on CleanSpark. Yeah, Marathon is the next one. Marathon Digital Holdings, looking like it wants to go down too, right? It moved down in a straight line, unchecked, so it's going to come back. You actually held resistance at your 382. You might just go down next week to start the week off, but it's also not uncommon, again, to go all the way back up to this previous area of support here, confirm it as resistance, or even go up to your 236, which is also kind of in its own right like an area of previous support, which you could confirm as resistance. So Marathon, and just because I'm saying that I kind of do expect it to go up there doesn't mean it has to. Absolutely, next week it could just drop off a cliff, but to really make this look like a bull trap, which I think it is, you'd probably move around $20 to $22, something like that, $20 to $23. That's my genuine interpretation, and then probably moving lower for Marathon. Yeah, kind of same idea here, right? If we draw bubbles, little bubbles, this one to me it doesn't make sense. It would make more sense to see it like lower, something like that. And I bet if we draw fibs, you know, low to high, come on now. Your 61869 is like right there, right? If we drew a little bubble right there and delete the fib, assuming that it goes there, that kind of fits this little upward trend line that you have, right? It makes sense, at least in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyways, that's Marathon. Probably goes up a little bit next week and then goes down. I bet Bitcoin and everything goes up too, right? It's probably going to have a little bit more upside, but it's already gone up enough. I don't think if it goes up more, it probably won't be that much. Just like the stocks here. Anyways, DEFTF. It kind of sounds dirty, but it's not. It's not. Look at that M pattern you got there, right? Yep. Yep. Very nice accumulation phase. Absolutely. Looking good. You moved up in a straight line. You're going to have to pull back, right? You're going to have to. Probably to your 382 around 23 cents, because that's at 23.7 cents. Again, it's very common to go a little bit below your 382. So I would say 23 cents, potentially all the way back to 13 cents even. But I'm kind of anticipating that you would hold this closing weekly high here at 16 cents. So I would say, I'd comfortably say 23 to 16 cents is probably where you're going on a daily time basis. Yeah, I think that was your high. If you go higher, you're not going higher than that high. And if you do, it's going to be barely like, but I think maybe next week you do open up to the downside. Lower highs, lower lows. I think you're getting ready. Look at how little volume was coming up here, but how much volume is selling. You know, this is a bull trap in itself. It absolutely is, in my opinion. So probably going lower. None of what I'm saying is financial advice. Don't base your financial decisions off of what I'm saying. You know, if you do, that's on you. It's not on me, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy doing TA in his living room with a Christmas tree at the end of January. And no, it's not coming down. Not until Valentine's Day. Little personal note. I've said it a couple times, but the reason for that is, I moved last year. We moved here last year, not to this place, but to Denver. I'm from a mountain town on like the west side of Colorado, and moved here. And it was during Christmas time, and we didn't have any Christmas decorations set up. And I don't really care. I'm not a big holiday guy, but it means a lot to my wife. So for her behalf, I made her a deal that we would keep up the Christmas decorations for 2 months. In correspondence with missing last year's Christmas. So for all the people that are hating on the Christmas decorations, if it was up to me, they'd be up year round. but they're up to her, so they're only going to be up till February. But still, that's just how it is, man. I love Christmas lights. I would love it to be Christmas, man. Every kid, when you grew up, were you not always sad when you took the Christmas tree down? Like, come on now, it's great. It's great. CRCW. A bit less intuitive, aren't you? I would think you go lower, but the fibs aren't really helping me here. So navigating with the RSI here, yes, I think you go lower. Maybe in the immediate term, because this is the daily, maybe you do move up a little bit more and then come down. Where would you go if you were to move up a little bit more? Yeah, probably up to like 0.002 cents, something like that. Maybe even 0.019, close enough, 0.027, somewhere in that range. I doubt you come back up to where you flattened out here. It's probably going to be a lower high. Nonetheless, let's see on a relative fib basis if you got anything potentially. I don't know. You could come all the way back up to that 382 area, 0.03. I'm not really calling for that because it doesn't seem to be respecting the fibs. I know it looks like it is here, but that was drawn before the anchor. So like all these highs happened before we actually had that low. And look at that, you actually found resistance on your 236. So if you did the same thing, that would be at 0.02. Look at that, man. I got the eye. Or I got lucky. Either way. Oh, look at this. Well, this might be the crypto company, but man, they are degenerate crypto company, if anything. Wow. Looks like a lot of interest on a volume perspective has come in during these lows. Yeah, kind of wouldn't be crazy at all. You've got this little nipple here to come back down. You get this like double bottom kind of structure. That's actually a very normal thing to do. So you probably do go lower inevitably, even if you look like you're going to go up a little bit for the time being. You could go lower than these lows even, form some bullish divergence and then get ready to move up. But I think it's going down nonetheless. If I was looking to buy this thing, I would not be looking to buy it here. That's my personal opinion. Again, not financial advice. And then Cry BF, Crypto Blocks Technologies Inc. Hidden bearish divergence, right? You're in this clear downtrend, right? All these, it's not going to be perfect, but more or less something like this, right? You come above it, you go below it, whatever. A downward trend line, lower highs all along the way. You have a higher high in your RSI with a lower high in your price. That is hidden bearish divergence. That would indicate in a downtrend especially that you probably have lower to go. Tipped your 61869 area, the white zone, which is for loading and unloading only. The people who loaded down here, they are unloading now, you best believe it, and the price probably does continue to go lower. Fortunately, compared to this entire onslaught to the downside, you can see that this section here, right, it's a bit different than anything else, right? Granted, this was kind of a bit different, but these candles look a little bit more lively. You've got more lively volume even. Like it's a little bit, this stands out to me. So what I'm getting to is when you come lower, unlike most of these areas over here, I wouldn't expect that you have a lower low. Even though you are in a downtrend, firmly entrenched in a downtrend, I would kind of expect that you either form some kind of higher low, maybe a double bottom, or if you do have a lower low, it'll just be a slightly lower low, something like that. But I think you are going to continue to move down, and you probably won't do it quickly. You could, but you probably won't. It'll probably take time. You'll probably continue to move down until like the middle of the year or something like that, and then maybe we can talk about you moving up. But down for now, daily RSI. See, now contrary to the weekly RSI, you actually have hidden bullish divergence on the daily RSI. So again, with all these things, and that's probably because Bitcoin will go up going into next week even, you might move up a little bit. You might have a relative double top or something like that, or a lower high or a slightly higher high, something like that, whatever. You might move up a little bit, but then inevitably I do think you're going back down. Let's see if we can get an exact idea of that. Again, if it's not a double bottom or a slightly lower low, it would be very slightly if it is. Probably around 2.8 cents, a little bit below that. If not, all the way down to about 1.4 to 1.65 cents, something like that. Yeah, in that range. Again, if I was looking to buy this thing, which I'm not, but if I was, I would probably wait. Even if it did this, I wouldn't feel the FOMO and buy here. Even if it did this, I wouldn't feel the FOMO and buy because it's probably going to come back down, around this area, something like that. Maybe even up a little higher, whatever. But that's and then you're holding this kind of like trajectory. I'm not drawing the lines properly, but hopefully you can see what I'm going for, right? There's like these higher lows coming in here. The daily RSI actually looks really nice, I gotta say. Nice uptrend. You might form one more drive of bearish divergence, in which case you would close above this high, but maybe not get above that high. You'll close above here, and then you'll roll over, because at that point your RSI would present one strike of bearish divergence, 2, 3 strikes. Triple bearish divergence is nothing to play with. Not only that, but if you were to go lower after that, you'd probably see this uptrend in the RSI break, and then that would again prolong this idea that you are going to move down for multiple months, several months probably. So that's it, man. All of them kind of have the same narrative, a little bit to the upside, except for DEFTF, I think, was the one that looks like it's more immediate to the downside. But all of them look like they want to go up a little bit and then down. They have a lot more to go, I would say. So some more than others. But that's it. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I will see you on the next one. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Bye-bye.